We're smooth 98.1 FM. Good morning and welcome. It is time for us to get inside the grapevine and talk about everything related to entertainment. Well, actor begins to form and becomes an activist by situation, showing solidarity and more issues we shall be picking up this morning. But before we get any further, we'd like you to know that we want you to be part of the conversation as you send us WhatsApp messages to 0809-444-0981. That's for WhatsApp messages. You can reach down to youtube.com/smooth981FM Lagos. That's where you will be able to see a live stream and then leave your comments below. Subscribe there. Then you can also send us a tweet at smooth981FM Lagos on X. That's it. Brace up, don't go too close to your radio set for your ear's sake, because I'm about to introduce someone with the bass when it comes on board.
Silas. Yeah, good morning, Lagos. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Mass. I see some guy there. What's his name again? Oh, the guy with the
Thank you very much.
Used to call it Panama back in the days.
Yeah.
Well, let me just let our listeners be quite aware of what is happening. Oris is in the studio. James is at home when his mates are hustling on the streets. So, good morning,
people
everybody.
Listening right now,
Hi,
I'm sure you will not believe that. You can hear three of us live, so pay him no mind.
Almost this morning is the man called Oris. James, on the other hand, is still half asleep back at home.
Yeah, right. The evidence they can find on YouTube to know. So
yeah, that he's lying, right?
Gentlemen, it's been quite, it's not the end of the week yet, but it feels like it's the weekend already. And I'd like you gentlemen to help us weigh in before we get into the story, how powerful an event can be like that alters, that makes the head need a mental setting of the day of the week all over again. And I'm talking about the Shivido wedding. Could this be the wedding that would sum up the year, or is there another one to come? James Silas, look at your crystal ball.
You know how some people have broken down the big three, I have to say, and how they've they've said Burna Boy is the worldwide global, Wizkid is the foreign, and David is the king of, should I say Africa? Did they say Africa or Nigeria? So I think this is quite some level of proof to it that David runs this city. And you can see how when an artist is big, if somebody's big, if you're big, you're big. There's no way we want to. It's not an argument. It's not a question. David shut down the city of Lagos with his wedding. Not just the real life city of Lagos, also the World Wide Web. Sure. The internet was buzzing with Chivido. I mean, hey. David is big. He's a big deal. It's an iconic event. If you are talking about some of from January to December with highlights of the year, I'm sure David's wedding might just top that list. I don't know what will happen later in the year, but we can almost say, man, we don't care what else is going to happen this year. Yeah. David has taken that spot already. So, but I mean, congratulations to them. I mean, let's not deny the controversies that's amidst, that surrounds the man himself. But I feel like it also comes with the territory of, the position that he occupies, both as a regular, wealthy guy or rich kid, and also a superstar. But and then the wedding was also, I don't know, I thought it was too crowded. In my head, I was saying if I was here, I'll just leave. I would just feel like there's too many people, just so much going on.
Too many big fish in a small pond, right?
Oh man, but shout out to him. Shout out to the wife. I mean, the way people say, "Oh, now Choma has taken a spot." I mean, these guys have had the proper legal. They were legally married already. Mm. So I mean, but tradition is tradition because we are in Nigeria or Africa, and that's. And then I mean, recently I just figured I saw that they've flown out already. They're out of town already. And the rumors are that they're going to have like a white wedding in America. So, I mean, whether they're having that or not, I mean, the truth is that they are married and it was a beautiful event at the end of the day. Yeah.
In the words of the band, he says, "Love is a beautiful thing." But are you surprised? His name is David, and when you go through the bio, you go to the good book. You know what? That's David, the small boy, how he was able to bring down the Goliath. So, would you say he's living true to his name?
That is such a very Thomas. I don't think anybody listening to us expected this to the Bible. But yes, in a sense, I mean, you can definitely say so. The man is favored, and pretty much the way I guess David and I was favored by God. So we have to say, on that level, David is indeed David. And yes, something James has said or seems to have implied is true. I think Davido has produced the non-musical music event of the year. It seems to me to be unlikely that anything musical that is not specifically tied to a hit song or something would surpass what Steve does to do over the past maybe a week or 2 weeks, and maybe even over the next 2 weeks or maybe the next week as well. So we have to say, as far as that is concerned, hand it over to the man. He has done it. But of course, we still have things like the head is supposed to show up this year. So that's supposed to be something big, hopefully, for it, because this is, I think, after 2 or 3 years, it's coming back to Nigeria, maybe to Lagos or something. I'm not sure where exactly, but it's coming back. So that's something major we can look forward to in the music space. But non-musically, I think, yes, it will be very difficult to find anybody who does anything as big as this. But I do have a joke. So yesterday or 2 days ago, a friend of mine a lady was talking to me about the wedding, about the whole thing, about how she's been saying, people commenting about the wedding and saying to her, or at least what she's been saying is, people seem to be referring to David, or rather Chioma rather, as the victor in the so-called battle for Davido, or for Davido's, I don't know, whether it's household or it's marital, whatever, or matrimony generally, and I was like, actually, that's true. I saw pretty much the same thing. A lot of women, young women, surprisingly, I mean, considering how much, I don't know, the militant version of feminism is rampant online, we're very, very in praise of the past 2 weeks, just praising Davido, praising Chioma. So I was saying to myself, what has happened is this. Davido has done, pardon me for Davido fans who probably attack me for this, but I think Davido has done the best PR possible for the cheating Nigerian man. Anybody else could have imagined. I feel like if you're a man who doesn't particularly believe, well, it's true. If you're a man who doesn't particularly believe in the idea or in the notion of monogamy, in the strict sense of the word monogamy, I think that after understanding or just watching what has happened over the past 2 weeks and what will still happen over the next 2 weeks, you have to say to yourself that, there's just a big chance that the women or the woman in your life might consider, well, if Chama could accept this, maybe it's not such a terrible, terrible idea if I to accept it. The only difference is this, or rather, the only thing you need to do is get your money.
Okay. Yeah. Moving on, let's get on to some music now, because you're taking us there already. When you talk about non-music happening this year, this might just be the big thing, but how can we say this when the man who's seen in the mold of the Sean Carter or the the Carter.
You're really praising people today anyway.
Well, so but what we're looking at, I'm just saying that in our circle here and in our climb, looking at what the image of Olamide Badu, in what it says here. Now he's announced what you call, well, a new project, Ikigai, and with the guest features from Ashake and Fireboy. So, James Silas, your take on this one?
So he called the project Ikigai. I don't know if it's an EP or an album.
7 tracks, probably an EP. I'm not, to be honest, I'm not sure. About 25 or 30 minutes. 7 tracks.
So Ikigai. So I took time to do some sort of research about the word Ikigai, because I kept wondering this Yoruba, until eventually I had to just look it up. And before I go to what it means, I remember when he did the other one. What's that? So that other one that has to do with the biggest star in the galaxy. What's the last album? Oris, can you remember?
My goodness, you're right. Wow.
Yeah. So so he had a title, just some kind of, not a funny title, but something that's very unusual. I think as the show progresses, I'll just remember the title of that particular project. But the meaning when I now found out later was that it meant the biggest star in the solar system or the galaxy.
Oh yes.
So this particular
Oris Kuti, that's the name. Oris Kuti or something.
yes, yes, So this particular one now, Ikigai, is actually a Japanese, like it's described
Japanese
as
phrase.
a Japanese secret, yes, to a long and happy life, And when you look at Olamide, there was one time there was a perception that he was retiring after the certain
No, it
album.
was not our fault. He's the one who said it, that after Unruly, which was his last album.
Exactly. So even in my head, I thought that okay, maybe he was done with the whole thing. But coming up with another project now, interesting. Yeah, it's interesting and fingers crossed.
No, it's not. It's not. James,
yeah?
It's not fingers crossed. The album is already out.
It's already out. See, I didn't know it was out already. I just, according to the news when I was reading, so I didn't even see that it was out really.
Yeah, it's out. And, I listened to it actually. I think 1 a.m. or something this morning.
What's the thing for you?
For me, it is definitely. I do not believe that Olamide is still, what's the word, as relevant as it was, let's say 5-6 years ago. There's a time when Olamide released like I think 7 records, 7 albums, 7 projects within like a 7-year span. That was like Olamide's peak. What is good about this record is, okay, there are a few tracks that remind you of how Olamide used to be, just how much on the pulse of Nigerian hip-hop music he was. I don't feel like this is a record that's going to bring back whatever thing he had back in the day. I think at the moment, the sound created by people like Charlie Poppy, like, what's his name? Modu Modu. That's the dominant sound. And Olamide's relevance to the scene now isn't particularly as a rapper. It is more as a record label producer. The fact that he's the owner of YBNL, that has a hand in Afake, in Fireboy. You understand? So that's kind of what I believe is the current Olamide rep. Not really as a rapper. So I listened to that and I'm like, okay, maybe there are 2 songs. A song called Machiavelli. Yeah, not bad. I think the last song on the album as well, the one with Lil Kesh and Fields, people who have all worked with Olamide back in the past. I'm like, not bad, but this is definitely not a record that's going to reach the heights of, say, what's that one from like almost 6 years ago? OT, Street OT. It doesn't have a record like Bones Me. This doesn't have a record like what's that one? But this guy ever lived it. There's nothing like that on this particular record. It doesn't have one like the one with what is the Infinity with.
But isn't that what it speaks about, evolution of the artist? And so
yeah,
you can stay when you at the time we listen to that, we're listening to the past of the artist already, using the words of a particular artist.
Yeah. So the idea is this: there's a sense in which it's possible as a musician. Music is really young man's, pop music especially, is a young man's game. That's the truth. So you can evolve out of relevance directly. So like I said, the major use of Olamide right as we speak right now is more non-musical. Like, just like the thing I said earlier, it's more non-musical than the actual music.
Well, let's see a few messages and then we'll go on the other side and then return with more for you. But let's see, Tayo is here and he says, I didn't allow Lagos traffic to stop me from coming to the Grapevine. Nice one. Nice one. And then he says, Shivido really shut down Lagos like it was a concert. I thought Omatseye, James, and Oris were at the event. I won't lie, I wasn't there. I didn't get an IV. But I got.
Let me tell you, I was there. Everybody
was there.
In the world that had internet was there. Forget.
Good. So that's where we
speak for yourself, Omatseye.
Okay, no. Okay, Omatseye, yes.
So no, but the good part is that people who were at that event, they delivered their polling units very well in terms of what we could get. So you didn't feel like you missed out on anything at all. Rather, you got a bird's eye view of everything happening than if you were at that event itself. You'll be restricted to a spot.
One of my friends from London called me yesterday.
This is consolation.
One of my friends from London called me yesterday and we discussed the event from start to finish. I'm telling you.
Tayo says, I thought, okay, so it goes on, but it's one dark man and co that were wearing that but I hope EFCC doesn't come for those free cash at the event. Now that Kibana Chief Priest is free from his legal battle, Happy Married Life, Love Wins, Online Neighborhood is on the watch for Davido against any propriety. We'll be back. It's still the Grapevine on Smooth 98.1 FM. Stay tuned.
But yeah, so he's okay. Just put his you guys need no. Of course, he said it's Japanese.
Isn't Yoruba?
No, it's Japanese. I know it's not Carpe Diem. I don't know. It's not. It's probably not listening to us on YouTube.
Yeah, but then they are right.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to respond to Tayo's message. Yeah, so it's not Carpe Diem. Carpe Diem was like I think 3 or 4 projects ago. It's Oris Kuti we're talking about in particular. That's the one they couldn't remember. Wait, so there are more comments. So there's the one from Xavier and Francis, but maybe we'll come back.
I'm trying to get something out from this because no, we have to get something.
But Oris,
even
with that Carpe Diem, man.
Okay, somebody
Thanks, Lucas.
Thanks, Lucas. So you see why we need to quickly catch up with them. Yeah. So what I'll do for them is I'm going to pin.
My daddy has 2 million shares with my mommy owns my own daddy owns
You're muted.
No, it's fine.
My own mommy owns
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, sorry. The call came in to distract me.
So do we come up with the 2 more comments? I just feel like we always need to take comments just because I've never ever sent comments to any readers. I'm like, whenever you do that, I'm like, no, I don't appreciate them by I saw movie advertising this thing on Instagram. I'm like, Omar's big man, you go buy Fidelity Bank now. This is your chance. This is all you are now.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I can't. Okay. And we're smooth 98.1 FM. We're back. It's still the Grapevine, and we're ready. James Silas is still close by.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Oris is also here. And so we proceed. We've got messages waiting on the fringes already. So let's quickly get them across and then move on to pick up some more messages. Issues here. Let's go to Xavier from Bagada, who says, well, Ghana Jollof, Rabu Rouser, and Onion came, and so 3 for everybody got their own label this morning. Then
yes,
it goes
so
on.
Xavier, shout out to you.
So he says, well, we single Pringles have decided we will not be strangled.
Nice.
First, it was Vicky James, then Moses Bliss, now David. Well, truth is that name David is a name filled with grace. My friends who bear David pretty much told the same line. They are men after God's heart, no matter what has happened, even if Uriah was.
Xavier,
Moving on. Congratulations to David and our sister Chioma. Then Francis from Ojo goes on to say, well, it's funny that, well, I think Sarah Boy is speaking. Yes, when he said David has done the best publicity for typical Nigerian men, my colleague Catherine said she can't leave a man because of cheating, that all men cheat. And she's happy for Chef. She's living the billionaire's lifestyle. So let's get some more messages coming on to 0809-444-0981. Go over to YouTube and catch a live stream on youtube.com/smooth981FM Lagos. On YouTube, there is Lucas Torgan, who was quick to the rescue with that name. Olamide's album. Let's do a bit of movie, and then we might even just throw, when you mentioned White Scooty, right? That's just also to throw this in the mix too, that Seun Kuti has a single out, them with the 2 dynasties are meeting for the very first time, I think. That's Damian Marley and Seun Kuti on that single. Well,
that's true.
What a legacy, meeting, the collision, then that's the single. But let's get into a bit of movie now. Angel Onigwe's team, they're calling out Kanayo for acting unprofessionally. How old is this young girl now that you're just, I mean, take her, see her as your daughter, but Oris, how did you feel it?
I guess as we see on the streets, for every bath,
there's a boss.
There should be a boss. So a few days ago, Kanayo showed up and gave his best, where he made the comment about how a certain actress's mother was treating his own set. And even if he'd heard about this particular thing being done to other producers, it was the first time it was happening to him, and he didn't think it was fair. And so he was going to disrupt any production that had this actress in it. Now, of course, the lady's mother has come to say, hey, actually, we had an agreement. It is you who broke the agreement. She is saying that they had an agreement for 9 to 9. And they gave Kanayo even like about almost an hour extra, and still they were not done. So I guess she decided, hey, we had this agreement, let us do something else. And of course, Kanayo didn't take that serious, didn't take that lightly, and so he showed up with the stuff we saw online. They are now saying, you know what, this is wrong. And to be honest, I have to say it, they're kind of correct, because if there was an agreement and you guys said, hey, Kanayo was saying that the day ends by, I guess, 11:59 or by midnight. So she should have been there till then. I understand that. But she's saying that, hey, the agreement was this. You get 12 hours out of my daughter, out of my, because she's also a manager, so out of my client, 9 a.m., 9 p.m. So I think that's where the issue is. But what I didn't like was Kanayo is now a lawyer, alongside being an actor. And it seemed to me to be threatening violence of some sort. I feel like, we can't expect someone like you who is one, a lawyer, and two, and the other statesman in the industry to speak like that, especially when it's about a girl who is 18 or 19. You want to ruin the girl's career. So it feels to me like not quite right. So anyway, I hope they find a way to solve this. And I hope the AG and the Actors Guild of Nigeria, Producers Guild of Nigeria also come together to say, hey, this is wrong. How can we move forward?
James Silas, I see there's been talk of what Kanayo had done is equal to cyberbullying and other things. Then it seems like that's the previous one to label on a man of his stature.
If the shoe fits.
I mean, if the what he said is popular or is viral on social media, it's automatically can be termed as cyberbullying. Is that not what it is? If that information or that particular video landed on the internet, I mean that's how they will
and
can also
it did go viral,
it.
to be honest.
Yes, so I just feel like there's that level of, yes, you are a veteran, yes, you've been there for long. I mean, it came off as, I don't know if I would say it was misogynistic and sort of condescending as well. For
Condescending, yes.
we understand.
I agree, condescending.
Yeah, we understand that you are the biggest one here. You are the legend here. Does not mean that you cannot maintain professionalism when it comes to even timekeeping. Exactly. But everybody just assume that it's not the way. I mean, what's there? You are supposed to, and I think that he as in his capacity, he needs to find a way not to continue threatening the girl in that tone or keep addressing the issue in that tone, but rather apologize for their own shortcoming as a production team. Exactly. So I always talk of regardless of who and your position, you still have to respect is reciprocate. I mean, you have to reciprocate respect. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you cannot say because you are Kanayo for that. Who are you to object? Who are you to talk to me?
Exactly.
I don't think I do anything to the girl's career. The girl, I mean, I don't know what the movie is or the short or what they are making. But
no, James. The thing to understand is that Nollywood, our industry, has different sections. And in the section that Kanayo currently occupies and the one he's speaking about, it's really about the Asabawa Nollywood, the one that goes a lot to YouTube. That's really straight to YouTube, the DVD people, the VCD people. That's kind of who's that person. And in that particular space, Kanayo is almost like the Kunle Afolayan of that particular space. So that's why what he says has some kind of weight. And if you listen to the clip he posted, he referenced the fact that people like him built the industry. So you're right. There's a lot of condescension in his speech. But yes, again, I think it's really not necessary. Let them just find a way to solve the issue. And if it has to be anything serious, take it to the court. Don't go and disrupt somebody's production.
Right, James, lead us into this next story, and that relates to Omonia Boli, ever young, great projects and great moves and all that. But she's got an eye set for something very big, and I mean, she let it out, and she would like to be in the cast of the Bridgerton. I must confess, I'm yet to get out of episode 1 of the first season. That's what he's struggling.
Wow.
So please, guys, forgive me. But take us into that.
So do you know what I said when I saw that story?
Yeah.
I was all money, rest.
James,
Rest.
how is this right? How is this fair, please? Why should
No,
she
I'm
rest?
just saying that's what came to my head. Rest. I mean, to be fine if she wants to, it's okay. I want to believe that even they might have casted some, maybe not Nollywood, but Nigerians, do you understand? But I don't think that Britain has the same effect that it had from the first season. I don't think it has. I'm still, like you just said now, I'm still struggling with this one. Like I've seen like maybe 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, and it didn't hit me as deep as the first one. Do you understand? So I don't know. I care less, But if you want to
James,
yeah.
The thing for me to ask you is not really about what you think, it's about what your wife thinks. I'm not entirely sure that. I think if you take a poll, I don't think men form the bulk of Bridgerton lovers. And anyway, to speak about Omoni Oboli, I find these things very interesting sometimes with some of our people in Hollywood. What they do and what they want is such a huge gap. Omoni Oboli is now investing in quotes in YouTube movies. She has like a channel on YouTube.
Yes.
And to be honest, I mean, she does better than a lot of them. But to be fair, it is not the highest production thing you've ever seen in your life. But at the same time, she wants something that is clearly well thought of. I just feel like there's a huge disconnect.
And Oris, this also comes against the background of the fact that also another colleague of hers in the industry, Genevieve, had also revealed how she had wanted also to get into Hollywood. And she's in that.
I've understood that, you know what, you're a black woman, not only a black woman, you're a black African trying to get into Hollywood. They do not think of you as anything because, let's face it, you cannot produce the numbers they produce in Nollywood over there. So until you can prove that you have that same star power, nobody will respect you. You are really just like, the regular goods in the market.
All right, let's touch up on one woman who's got the star power and she's got star to her name also as we speak right now. That's talking about, she's a June baby. She's just turned 21.
The one and only.
She's going places. The only thing, well, the dresses, you may not like the dresses, but
Omas, please, people that love our dresses love our dresses.
Oh, okay.
I love the lack of dress.
But then I'm just can you let me go the direction I want to right now? That's where, just to say that she's revealed the code to be Sabi, really. So what does it really take to be a Sabi girl, James Silas, in the view of Anderson?
It's like, I mean, that word is actually coined or just the opposite of Sabi boy, if you know, you're sharp guy. So I mean, but I don't think it's a big deal, if it's an interview, or they asking her what does that mean. And of course, that's something the people out there can ask her, not here in Nigeria.
No, exactly. We know what it is. Yes.
We all understand what it means. You understand? It's not a word. She did not create it. So it's not a big deal. But I mean, apart from that, besides that, I've listened to that album and I actually liked the album. I think that it was well put together.
I'm sorry, put you on the spot. Put you on the spot. Which is better, the Ayastar record or the Thames record?
Oh, whoa. So I think personally, when it comes to
see this guy, politics. Answer the question.
No, I don't say, okay, let me tell you, let me just put it straight down. Wow, exactly. I'll take the Ayastar album for easy listening and for
Same here.
All right, so let's go back to messages as we get ready to wrap up the conversation. Now let's see. Okay, Tayo's back again. Tayo says Ikigai isn't Yoruba word, it's Japanese business model, use it for longevity. Lamide is doing a reminder of the industry. So it goes on, isn't it Capadam? It was trying to chime in on what we're asking.
Capadam was an older, it's an LL album.
And then it composed KOK, that's a Kanayo, Esquire, about to make some sacrifice, but mommy manager had to intervene because she too get for her. I want to be careful in the matrix, but we are on the grapevine. Omoni should rest in the name of Nollywood. I like don't go like it says go like the social media handle and just rest. That's what you should do. Oris, lack of what? Lack of what, Oris? Lack of what? Small time. It will reach Sabinos and then we'll await some C's and disease letter on social media. And then Victor coming from this one says most Nigerian hip hop artists often have a better yesterday musical. Whiskey's biggest album to a lot of people is Ojo.
No, it's Superstars. Ojo was not an album. That was a single on Ayo on the second record.
Then Olamide too had his best in his past. True. Ashake too is looking like it is his last 1 to 2 years. Victor and then he says David is about the only Nigerian artist managing to drop hits collabos over the decades. Maybe it's how music evolves locally and globally. Only Michael Jackson can hold it down all musically throughout his lifetime. Once again, we say we also want to remember Michael Jackson because this is the anniversary of his passing on the week. You know, he passed on at about this time.
Yeah.
Thanks for that reminder. And then Lekon comes up saying Davido and Tubaba are legends. We're eagerly anticipating their books on managing side relationships without affecting their marriages. And he says, we men admire you both. They hold the real men's code. And then Wanko Anthony, our last message for the morning says, Kendra Lamar united the whole West Coast with his track. That's huge. Music is powerful. Anthony from Ajegunle. That's how we say it's a wrap inside the Grapevine. And we thank everyone who raced down to YouTube to catch a stream of a live stream and all those who sent in message and still engage at this moment. So James Silas, plug out.
Yeah, James Silas is here. Catch me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, from X, formerly known as Twitter, everywhere. You know, if you catch me, James Silas, as a handle, send me a message, tell me you're from the Grapevine, me, I will holler back.
And Oris?
Yes, as always.
Catch your wrist. For James Silas.
Catch your wrist on Twitter. And we'll be back next week. Yes.
Yeah. Later.